Hi there. If you're watching this video, it means there's a geek, nerd, dork, or gamer dweeb in your life that you don't know what to get for Christmas. They can be notoriously hard to buy for, because let's be honest, if they're over 30 and employed, they're already bought everything they wanted under $50 anyway. That's where I come in. Everything I'll be mentioning in this video is linked in the description below to make it as easy as possible for you to win Christmas and leave them with a smile. Or if people won't stop asking what to buy you, just link them this video. When you're shopping for a techie, it's best to avoid electronics, and far better to stick to things that they won't have an opinion on, like fashion. Christmas sweaters don't have to be ugly. They can be fun references and conversation starters. See this sweater? It's Skyrim inspired, and something nobody would think to buy for themselves. It's also a real knit, unlike the printed-on crap you find at Target. Just Geek, the company that makes them, makes sweaters for Harry Potter, Star Wars, Star Trek, Street Fighter, and even Sonic, and they all look great. I should point out that none of the items in this video are sponsored. I just get asked what I want for Christmas all the time, and this seemed like the easiest and most obvious way to answer it. And when it comes to clothing, t-shirts are the ultimate advertisement of a geek's interest. Anime, movies, television, you name it. People can always use one more t-shirt. Hell, I even make t-shirts for this channel inspired by Total War memes. Most YouTube channels sell merch of some kind or another, so surprise them and show you pay attention to what they watch and their interests. The gamer in your life undoubtedly already has their favorite mouse or 5 mice, and no amount of RGB lighting will make them like yours. So why not try a mouse bungee? It's one of those things you don't think will make a difference until you try one, and then it changes your life. No more snagging cables on edges, running out of slack at just the wrong time, or fighting against cable drag all the time. November sees the release of all the hot new games just in time for the holidays, but unless you know what your giftee plays, it can be a tough guess. This year's big releases were all sort of a mess when they came out, and many of them were skipped over. If you're really stuck, consider a gift card to their console of choice: Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, or Steam if they play PC games. It can seem impersonal, but then they get the game they want instead of you getting one that may just get returned. If you're feeling really daring though, try gifting a game directly through Steam. Many PC players keep a wish list on Steam of the games they want, and you can buy directly from there. Or if they enjoy Total War or Paradox games, there's likely at least one DLC they haven't picked up yet. The same goes for HD remasters of their favorite games. Age of Empires 2 and 3, Mafia, Grand Theft Auto. Just because they haven't bought it doesn't mean they don't want it. I mean, hell, I want the Skyrim Anniversary Edition, but my own self-loathing stops me from buying it for the 15th time. So, being a gamer's hard. Help them out a little bit here. The same goes for tabletop games as well. If there's a Dungeons & Dragons player in your life or a Warhammer fanatic, you can always find a bit of plastic crack they haven't quite snuffed up yet. Miniature painting is a great way of making an RPG game come alive or joining a new community of millions. So for those just getting started, the Reaper Miniatures Learn to Paint kit sets you up with 3 models, all the paints and brushes you'll need for them, and detailed instructions on how to paint. Games Workshop, the makers of Warhammer, Fantasy, and 40k, offer their own version of this with 3 Intercessor Space Marines or a bunch of spooky dooky space skeletons. You can buy these online or purchase them from your friendly local game shop, where there's always someone happy to answer questions, and you can meet some smiling faces who also will enjoy that hobby. But if you know an expert painter, consider one of these thingies. It holds the miniature so they don't have to grip it by the base when they paint. It's one of those extra expenses most can't justify when they're buying for themselves, but make a world of difference if you really have one, and really isn't that the point of a gift? A little bit of extra excess that you wouldn't normally get for yourself. Speaking of Warhammer, the easiest way to dip into that sci-fi universe is with the Sci-Office Kane Omnibus. Whether they're a longtime fan or you just want to see what all the fuss is about with Warhammer 40k, it's a collection of 3 books and a few short stories that can only be described as hilarious Blackadder in space, following a self-centered coward always looking after his own skin that somehow still gets stuck into the thick of it. It's just the funniest damn thing ever, but still does a great job of introducing you into this whole cool, really fun and interesting world. If you have a gamer girl in your life, or want to just read something with a slightly different perspective, check out Girl vs. Game, a fictional account of a young woman competing in the MOBA scene, with all the trials, gaming, and conflicts you come to expect from all of your major world tournaments. Now, this novel should be of special interest to regular viewers of the channel, as it was actually written by our regular editor, who among other things is a head librarian and founder of the Esports Archive project. And I've read the whole thing twice. It's very good and a lot of fun. And you know what? Hey, why not try something new? Last on this list is a new game controller. I know I said no electronics, but everyone can use a spare controller or an upgrade. So long as you stick with the official brands, you should be fine. The PS5 controller is really of special interest this year, as it has adaptive triggers, making it so you can actually feel the weight of a weapon, or the trigger pull so that it breaks at a certain point. It's one of those things that you really have to try to feel just how cool it is. Currently, the feature is only supported by a handful of games on PC, but it's one of those things you really have to feel to believe. Or you can always try the new Xbox controllers with little flappy things in the back, so you don't have to constantly spam the run button with your thumb. And that's what I've got for nerdy Christmas gift options this year. But let's be honest, you're desperate for gifts if you're looking here anyway, so why not try and take a risk and get crazy? The best gifts are always the ones that show you care about someone and understand their interests, so go out there and have a Merry Christmas. And as always, thanks for watching.